Are we there?
Thank you.
God bless you.
Thank
You are so welcome.
you. Goodness.
It's my friend Mika, everybody.
We are almost there and live and in charge.
Hey, we're live.
Hooray!
So watch your fucking mouth.
Aw, dang. No, we can't monetize.
Trying
What are we
desperately.
doing today?
Crazy day. Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. My cat wanted to join the party. Per usual. Per usual.
Hello, Daisy.
Daisy says, hi.
So,
Hello, it's me.
hey, is there the ability to comment on YouTube, or you have to comment on Instagram?
Yeah. We have a live chat. People can live chat with us while we're live. That's what a live chat is. Yeah, but you
right.
understand.
But can you do it only on Instagram? Or can
No,
you
we're not on Instagram. We're on YouTube. So only on YouTube.
So people that are watching on YouTube, if there was somebody, God bless you, they could chat?
Yes.
Because they couldn't do that before, remember?
Why not?
Remember, because you said that you could only do that through Instagram when we were in my office doing episode 4 or 5.
Oh, I don't know why I said that. No, they've been able to live chat at any time.
And I had
We've done this.
a couple people tell me last time that they couldn't comment on YouTube. They couldn't figure out how to do it. And so I told them to go to Instagram.
Well, we're not live on Instagram. Do you want me to go live on Instagram? Because I can do that too.
No, whatever we normally do.
Yeah, it's probably because they needed to have a YouTube account. You have to have a YouTube account.
Oh, okay. Well, shame on
Yeah,
me.
you have to, in order to live chat, you have to sign in. So that's probably the issue.
Yeah, probably right. All right.
So if you want to live chat,
Well,
sign in to your account and live chat with us. We'd love to have your questions, your comments, and your concerns.
sign into my account and then live chat, and it'll be like talking to myself.
There you go. I feel excited because I can actually use my hands. I'm not holding the microphone today.
Oh, that's a nice thing.
I know. I
I
think
can
so.
use mine too, but I always have stuff in my hands, and I don't know why, but I do. Right now, I have a sucker ball and a bolt.
A sucker ball. What is a sucker ball?
The ball is like little, octopus suckers all over it, so you throw it.
Oh, nice.
Flat
Oh, so you can throw it at the wall and it'll stick?
Yes, ma'am. That's how it works.
Heck yeah.
So Melissa found it in the woods.
Oh, nice.
Brought
She's
it
taking
down.
after you, just finding random things on the
Exactly.
ground.
So she was crowing. Oh, here she is. And she found it in the woods. And so she brought it to me and she threw it at the wall and it fell on the floor. And she's like, well, that's probably why I was in the woods. Somebody chunked it. And the bolt I found today.
You found another bolt today?
Yeah, at the corner of Glendora and whatever that street is that runs between Bogarts and Kroger. So
wow.
I know it's my bolt. I'm not losing that one. So
wow.
let me tell the bolt story right quick.
Do it. Love it.
So I love Kings Island, which is an amusement park, and I love it because it's the only place in the world, no shit, that I can guarantee myself mindfulness. And here's why. Because they have this roller coaster called the Beast, and it's an old-fashioned wooden roller coaster. They have a roller coaster called Orion, which is not a roller coaster. It does the things a roller coaster does, but it's so smooth, it's kind of like you're flying. So the Beast is a roller coaster. It shakes you up. It like rattles you to the core, and it's kind of scary. And so whenever I go to Kings Island, the first thing I do, no shit, is ride the Beast, because coming out of the third turn, there's 4 tunnels you go through on the Beast. And this thing, I mean, it is shaking and rattling and rickety as all fuck. And my friend that I was riding with one time goes, dude, we are one bolt away from being a really interesting story in the news tomorrow morning. The wrong bolt pops off at the wrong time. And, we're Kings Island skid marks. So that's the theory. We are one bolt away from not being here anymore. So
And
Story of the bolt.
it's just so wild that you found one today.
I know. Oh, so we had a question.
We did have a question. Do you remember what it is, or I'll
I
pull it
do.
up?
No, I
Okay,
do. What
cool.
is something that makes you laugh and probably always will? And so when I saw the question, I said to my friend Melissa, "Oh my God, you would think that this would be the happiest day of my life. Like I've been waiting for this question. It's my go-to. This is where I shine." I couldn't think of anything, and I still can't. But I have one story, and I want to tell it, and then I'm sure we'll come up with lots more funny stuff. But
Okay,
here's
cool. Go ahead.
what's so far. One day, I was in my boss's office, and he had jeans on, which means it was probably Friday. And I said, "Hey, did you get new jeans?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "What kind are they?" And he said, "I don't know." And I said, "Turn around." So he did. And there wasn't like a label that was visible. So he turned back around, and I'm in his office with our HR rep. And he said, and I quote, "Well, I'll be thinking about you want to take my pants off tonight." And I looked at her and I said, "Were you going to write that down or talk to him or you can't say that stuff." So the next morning when I came to work, I guess it wasn't a Friday, I did not ask him if he thought about me when he took his pants off, but I thought about it.
That's funny. I have a Chris story too. The first and I think the only time I've ever made Chris audibly laugh really hard to where he's like cracking up. I've never seen this man laugh like that. And to this day still haven't. I think I was setting you guys up for a board meeting or something. It was some kind of something or like a class. And I think you were really nervous about it or something. It was like a presentation. I
Mhm.
don't know. And you were like, quick, gotta go to the bathroom. And I was like, he's got anxiety poops.
Well, this
And then,
it was sports shorts and more when you were setting it up.
oh yeah, that's right, that's right. And he's like, and I was like, I think he's got the anxiety poops. And then Chris just
Yep.
started dying laughing
Yep.
because he thought it was the funniest thing. He had never heard the word anxiety poops before, and he just thought it was the funniest thing ever.
That is funny. I remember that.
And that is the one thing I will say. I think as a population that we can all ground ourselves in, maybe not every single person, but I think a good amount of us always get a kick out of a poop or a fart joke.
Yeah.
Those are always funny to me.
Scatological humor.
Scatological.
That's exactly what that is.
Speaking of, I have this thing which makes me laugh every single time I see it. There's been multiple reiterations of this video, but it's just so funny. So I'm gonna just put it up to the camera because you really only need to hear it.
Okay.
Do you know Gavin DeGraw's it's the One Tree Hill theme song? Um,
No,
Gonna
not
be lately. All I do is my peace of mind.
I'll get it.
I don't know. I don't remember the lyrics, but you know what I'm talking about. But it's basically like a parody of that. So it's really funny. Hold on. I don't wanna be crying and puking and pissing and farting and shit down. I don't wanna be crying. She said, I don't wanna be crying and puking and pissing and farting and shitting.
I got one, but it's a video, but so it'll be really fast. It's where they put words in people's mouths.
Oh yeah, the lip dubs.
Yes, and it's
Yeah.
Yoda, and it's a song, and he's singing about seagulls. Uh, have I played that for you?
Is it the bad lip? Is it a bad lip
Yeah,
reading
bad
one?
lip. Yeah, yeah. Those are funny as hell.
Bad lip reading Yoda. Oh,
Uh,
the seagulls.
yep. Yep. Who I mean, whoever puts that stuff together, I don't know how many hours, weeks, or months it takes, but it's
I
funny.
don't know either. I
Ah,
wonder, do you do you want to show it? I could probably share my screen. I don't know if we'll get copyright
well,
claim for showing it though.
it's like 3 minutes long.
Yeah.
Um, I made
I'll
Chris
watch it after this.
I made Chris laugh out loud the other day. Okay,
It's always, I feel like always like when I can make Chris laugh like that because he's such a stern guy, like it always
no,
makes me feel really good.
stern's not the right word.
No. Um,
Just calm.
yeah.
Yeah, he's not a stern dude. Calm. What am I trying to think of?
Chill. He's just a really chill guy.
Chill. There you go. Yeah.
What is something else that makes me laugh every single time? I think have you watched any of the Tim Robinson Netflix series?
Mm-mm.
Bill. I think it's called Sorry to Bother You. Oh no, I think you should leave. It's called I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson. It's on Netflix. You need to, if you want to literally pee yourself laughing. It
Oh,
is the stupidest humor in the world. It's so weird, so awkward, so loud. It's so funny. It's it's seriously hysterical.
I'm
So
looking.
that's definitely something you should look into watching. I'll
I
text it to
crossed that
you.
off my list because peeing myself laughing was on my list for today. Hey, speaking of, guess what I did on Valentine's Day? I haven't talked to you.
Oh, what did you do?
Remember that Dave Chappelle couldn't get Bill Brown tickets? He got them on Valentine's Day.
Oh, no way.
Yep. It was totally fucking badass.
You
So
went and saw him on Valentine's Day.
sure did. Let me tell you about it.
That's amazing. Yes, please tell me.
So, oh, there's a story behind it. So, I'm at my house the day before Wednesday, which is what the fuck? It's Tuesday, so it's Wednesday Eve, and I'm upstairs, but I'm not using it. I'm standing at the sink, fully clothed, and my phone does a alert, and I look, and it's Gmail, and it says Dave Chappelle tickets, and I just hit it, and then I just hit purchase, and this happened
You
like
said
in
click clack.
yeah, it happened in like 4 seconds. The tickets popped up. It said two. I hit purchase, bought them. Didn't know how much they was. Didn't know when it was or what it was. And it was for jazz at the Firehouse
I saw those. They have tickets there tonight. I was gonna go for my birthday.
by Dave Chappelle. So I'm like, fuck, man, Dave Chappelle's gonna be in the room. It was badass.
Yeah?
The band that played, I used to tell people I don't like jazz. I don't understand jazz, and I've been afraid of it because I don't know where to start. You know what I mean? Like if someone said, "Hey,
You just start by vibing.
I want
It's
to know
just a
about
vibe.
music," you could tell them, about it. I don't know. So anyway, this band has played all over the world. Two of the guys in the band graduated from the School for Performing Arts in Brooklyn with Dave Chappelle. They were high school buddies, and these guys went on and became the best in their field, as he is unarguably the best in his, um, which is totally cool. So he says, um, one of my very best Valentine days ever. I was in Brooklyn in my friend, whatever his name is, his apartment. He was in the band, and he was here too, the other band guy, and my girlfriend, who's now my wife, and they were just playing, and we were just listening and smoking some weed, and it was just one of the best Valentine days I had. And then he said, and I want to give that gift to you guys tonight. And I was like, oh my God, he's a good storyteller.
Yeah,
He just is. But it was like a gift, and it was badass. And
that's awesome. I love
I
the gift of experiences.
Yep, I don't remember doing this for this long at a concert, but I closed my eyes for a good while and just listened and felt and smelled.
Yeah.
And I loved it. It was amazing.
The thing that you said about Kings Island, where that's the place where you can be like completely like mindful,
Mhm.
that's how I feel about music in general. And when I'm in those kind of spaces, specifically with music like that, that's really technical and it's just really complex. The only
Complex.
thing that you, yeah, the only way that you can really know it and understand it is to experience it. And that's what I love about it, is you just get lost in it and you
Yep.
float away. Just
Um,
great. What's your favorite Dave Chappelle skit?
you know what? I don't know. I don't remember. Um, who was there? Donnell, dude from the Chappelle Show. This is Darnell? I don't remember. But it was totally cool because it was like hanging out with Dave Chappelle and his buddies. It was
That's
like
really cool. I love that type of energy.
maybe 150 people. Thank you. That's where I was going. Maybe 150 people there. Um,
Wow.
but what I was thinking was, holy shit, man. Uh, this is a dude that he's one of the most creative people on the planet. And then these guys are musicians who are some of the best at what they do. And I know there have been nights when they came off stage, when he came off stage, and he's like, holy fuck, I don't know what happened out there, but everything came together and magic happened. You know what I mean? And so that's exactly why we went, because sometimes, you just never know. But there is that energy in spaces like that. And to me, it's worth immersing myself in because it's just got to be a good influence, you know?
Yeah,
And I loved it. I'm getting goosebumps. But
that sounds
yeah,
amazing.
yeah, I was
That sounds
telling,
like such a really cool experience, especially for Valentine's Day. Just getting to be there and do that is just
it was
so,
cool.
so cool.
I was telling a friend of mine yesterday, I cannot wait until July 25th, which is my birthday, because there'll be 45,000 people screaming and jumping and, singing every word at the top of their lungs with Foo Fighters. And that's an experience I'll pay a lot for because, what you get out of that and how long that lasts.
Yeah, that's so true. I love experiences like that.
And I got to tell about the last time I saw Chappelle, where I went with my friend Ashley, and she was driving my car, which is always a bad idea. And she was she was telling me a story, and it was kind of at the interesting point. And we were turning left across two lanes of highway, and there was traffic coming. And she got like halfway through the lane and looked at me and was like making sure I was following the story. And I'm looking out the window of these cars rapidly approaching, and I'm like, no, you gotta go. How do we get oh, Chappelle? Yeah. And that was in a cornfield. And that was one of those nights. Uh, that
I
was
have a t-shirt from there that you got me.
I tried to find mine because I wanted to
You
take it.
did, and I'm pretty sure it was for my birthday. I think it was for my birthday or for some kind of celebration.
Okay. It could have been the fall harvest because it was
Mm.
yeah, so I took my face mask that we got for the cornfield show. Oh my God, that doesn't hurt. Oh, it's upstairs. Oh, hey.
Oh, hey.
Hey,
Hey.
time out. I'm sorry. It's your birthday.
It is my birthday. Yay, balloons.
So my friend Melissa went to the store and I'll tell you the really fast version. You would think she bought balloons, but she didn't. She bought latex and a balloon kit and made these in my kitchen just a minute ago.
Oh, that's so cool. They're so cute. I love the little dots on them.
Those are extra. And
Oh,
there you
how cute. Oh
go.
no,
I can't turn it off.
I will seize.
You and I have to have funny stories.
I have tons of funny stories. Okay, so here's a funny story that I did the other day when I was leaving work. So Wednesday I was at work,
Okay.
right? That was Valentine's Day. And Bogarts was having a promotion where if you go to the box office and you talk about how you broke up with your ex, they will give you fee-free tickets to whatever show you want.
No shit.
Yeah. And so I went there after work and I like stood there and I was like waiting for a little bit because they were like taking a break or whatever. And then I was like, all right, what do you want to hear, guys? Like, what do you want? There was like a bunch of girls like in the box office. They all had really good energy. They were all really cool. And I was like, okay, what do you want to hear? Do you want to hear my first boyfriend, my second boyfriend, my third boyfriend, my fourth, like which one do you want to do? And they're like, just all of it. Why not? Start from the beginning. And so I literally told them like short, sweet, and to the point, like little synopsis of every single one of the
Oh
people
my
that I've dated
God.
and why I broke up with them and like how it happened. And they were like, oh my God, girl, you were just like a rehabilitation center for men. And I'm like,
What's that? I'm the last girl you date before somebody
before
gets,
you find the love of your life. Yeah, that's what it feels like. That's me.
hang on, I gotta find a
Hey,
drink.
what's up? Also, I watched Taylor Tomlinson's new special last night, and it's really funny. It's really good. Really enjoyed it. It's very hilarious. I would say another thing that always makes me laugh too. I'm talking into the void, so the people watching can not have dead air. But another thing that always makes me laugh as well is I don't know if you've ever seen Adam Ray. He's a comedian, but he cosplays as as Dr. Phil a lot. So
Okay.
he has an actual like YouTube series where it's Adam Ray as Dr. Phil, and he has other comedians on his show, and they're like at the Comedy Store to like a live audience, and it's just so funny the stuff that ensues because he like interviews people as if he's actually Dr. Phil. Like he interviews these comedians as if he's Dr. Phil, and it's seriously the funniest thing ever, and I laugh every single time. There's never a time in which there's never a time in which I watch him where I'm not cracking up.
Who is it?
Adam Ray, he's a comedian.
Was it you and I that were talking about Shane Gillis saying uh about the guy that came up with the idea for the Special Olympics, telling his friend about it, and his friend going, dude, don't ever say that out loud again.
Okay, so I have a funny story about that actually.
Thank you.
Not about that specifically, but one time me and Evan, he had just left his job at the dispensary. So he had all of this dispensary swag that he had no use for anymore, that he just didn't want to keep. And so we put it in a bag and we went to one of those, parking lot donation things.
Mhm.
And those parking lot donation things, and we went to like put it in one, and we're like, oh, like let's see what this one's for. And like we put the bag in there, and then we looked to the side, and it's the Special Olympics.
Oh my gosh.
So the Special Olympics were rocking a bunch of cannabis merch.
I I got a job. I hadn't worked in like 10 years, and I got a job delivering the it's a weekly City Beat. City Beat. It's a free magazine. You know what City Beat is, right?
Yeah.
You pick it up at Kroger or whatever. And
Mhm.
so they had an ad, they needed deliverers. And I'm like, so I wrote them a letter, and I got an interview, and I got the job because I had a car. That's about it. And so the
You're
guy,
hired.
yeah, exactly. So the guy's like, you should be able to, do this in about 8 hours. And my route, well, it took no shit, like 2.5 days. Every week I would go down to some dock, and they would just load my car up with City Beats. I mean, so you couldn't see out of it. And then I would spend 2.5 days driving 3 blocks and stopping. And so finally, like after 2 weeks of that, 3 weeks of that, I picked up my City Beats, filled the car up, uh, did like 2 stops, drove to a dumpster, and unloaded them all.
Oh my gosh, Bill!
Yeah, that was
That's
it.
probably so much money they spent on those
That was
too.
getting my City Beat delivery.
Big city beat your ass.
Also, one time, weird things always happen when Chris is gone out of the office on vacation.
Always.
Mhm.
Like the one time when I came in early to open and I accidentally set off the alarm because I came in way too early. And at the same time that the alarm is going off in the building, meh, 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 there's a man outside the door who I've never seen before trying to get inside the building. And I'm like 23, 24 at the time. This was when I was very first at the center. And there was just so much happening. I had to
Don't
call Chris.
overload.
Yeah, I had to call Chris. Chris, what's the code? What's the code? It won't stop flashing and yelling at me.
Yeah, because when you're standing there and it's going off, uh that 10 seconds of phone call takes like 9 hours.
Yeah.
And it's horrifying, and it's terrifying. So
Because I texted
guy
him,
outside too.
I even texted him when I went in. I said, "What time does the alarm go off?" He told me 7:15. I said, "Okay, cool. Let me wait a little bit longer, just to make sure." It was 7:30, I think I went in there. Still went off.
Hmm. I
I
hate
guess
that.
it didn't I guess it didn't disable until like 8 or something, but it still went off.
I hate that alarm. So
Let me strong.
he was in Florida, and everybody got COVID, and so two of us had to work a couple days that week just by ourselves in case anybody came to the center, and everybody else was off. And so I recorded a video on my phone of me saying, "Hey Jeannie, I'm downstairs in the kitchen. Can you grab something, whatever, and bring it down to me? Thank you very much." And I played it over the page system on my desk phone, just from my office, which is right down the hall from hers, and snuck up on her. And when I, scared her instead of a jump scare, she was like, "What?" She just does not scare at all. At all. She's like, "Good idea." No.
Good
But
idea, poor execution. Wrong
yeah,
person.
yeah. But I mean, a couple people I would have had to peel off the ceiling.
I would probably have been one of those people.
Yeah.
I do scare fairly easily.
And it's a weird thing when your brain is on total autopilot, everything's going great, and all of a sudden something sensory input comes in that blows everything to pieces.
Yep.
You know,
Should should we tell the said the bipolar disorder story?
I like that one. That's a good one. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So one time, this was like in the beginning of it was in the beginning of our working together.
Yeah.
And so so we were talking in my office and you were talking about how good you were feeling and how like you really felt like you were like making progress and all this kind of stuff, and then you're like, you know what, I don't think I need to be on my medication anymore, I feel really good. And then I said the bipolar disorder.
And my mind went, she got you on that one. She's got a point. Yeah, I thought it was I came in your office and I was like, I feel like shit. And you're like, you were doing great. What's going on? Are you still taking your meds? I'm like, no, why? Because I was feeling great. I didn't need them. I told my doctor
Oh,
after
maybe that's how it did go, because I remember for some reason you were thinking about getting off of your medication, or you did get off your medication.
I had it, yeah. So this one is does not play well with clinicians. My doctor put me on a mood stabilizer, and months later she's asking me how it's going, and I'm like, I'm taking it. Why? Because I'm waiting to get in a good fucking mood. Then I'll stabilize it.
That's funny. That was like
Why the hell
most
would I stabilize the way I'm feeling now? It's so
I
crazy.
made a joke when I did my speech for the trauma informed care conference. I made a joke and it was dark humor and nobody laughed because it's dark humor.
Shit, at a trauma
Yeah.
con.
Yeah, no, so I was like sharing my story and blah blah blah, and then I was handed an ACE test and I scored an 8 out of 10. And then I asked, "Did I win? Did I pass? Did I get an A?"
Did I get the highest?
Right. Do I get a gold star? And then nobody laughed. Literally nobody laughed. Not
That's
one person laughed.
that's an office moment.
Yeah. And I looked around and I was like waiting for the laughter and I said, "Well, sometimes it's a swing and a miss."
You said that?
No, I said, what did I say? I don't remember. I kind of blacked out the whole thing because I didn't have a speech or anything. I just kind of went off the top of my head. Um, but I was like, well, what did I say? I said, I guess that one's not for everyone.
Black humor at a trauma conference.
You have to. Like, things get so heavy. You sometimes have to make them a lot lighter.
I agree. Um, what's
I
the
feel like you and I have so many funny stories together, and for some reason, I just can't think of any right now. And as soon as we stop this, I'm going to think of a billion. The time that you fell at the zoo.
Oh shit! Oh, I was pushed by the universe. Yeah, I mean, no shit. So we're walking at the zoo, four of us, right? You, me,
Yeah.
Pat, and Ashley, and it was cold. It was in January. We were seeing the penguins, and we're walking along, and I fell. Nobody touched me. I didn't trip on anything. I
I
just
thought you slipped.
literally went
I thought
down.
you slipped on ice. Was it you just
No,
slipped out on nothing?
I didn't slip on anything. I
That
just,
is so funny.
yeah, I mean, my leg,
And you went right backwards too. You literally fell on your butt or on your back as if you slipped on something.
it was crazy. I just went down
That was so funny.
out of nowhere. Yep. Weird rama.
I'm trying to think of something else that always makes me laugh. Like,
Raising Arizona always makes me laugh. You seen the
oh,
movie?
you know what always makes me laugh? When I'm saying, okay, I'm about to go to the bathroom, and then somebody says, "Go piss, girl," instead of Gossip Girl, they're
No.
like, "Go piss, girl," and I'm like, it literally gets me every time. I laugh every single time someone says it to me. It never gets old. It's a joke that just transcends time and space.
Hey, we were talking about How I Met Your Mother this morning. What in what
My favorite
scene?
show.
Yeah, in what scene did we see her, the mom?
It is last season. You
She have,
first.
she have an umbrella?
That's when they like when you see that they officially meet, it's
Uh,
because of the umbrella. And the weird thing that's like the universe string theory kind of thing that like ties them together this whole time is this yellow umbrella that like
okay.
follows him throughout the series. He finds it, or I don't remember if he bought it or he found it, but I think that he bought it because his initials were in it. And like he had it and he brought it along with him, and then at one point he left it somewhere and she picked it up, and she ended up having the yellow umbrella when he met her at the bus station when he was leaving Robin and Barney's wedding, I think it was. Um, because she was the bass player in the band that they hired. So when he goes to the bus station, he's feeling all like down about himself, and then he sees Tracy at the bus station holding the yellow umbrella, and he goes up, he's like, "This is my umbrella actually," and then it had his initials in it, and her name actually, they have the same initials. So
Yeah.
she was like, "No, this is my umbrella,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah." And before he even saw her, he heard her in his hotel room, doing La Vie en Rose, like singing it on the ukulele next to his hotel room. So yeah, that's the story of how they met.
That's a good
Spoiler.
that's a good show.
And then they kill her off
Yeah, they did.
so he
True.
can be with Robin.
So
That's annoying.
I was I've in my office I have a desk, and then on the other side of my desk I have two chairs so people can sit and talk to me if they want to. And so my computer is behind my desk, and so if I'm at my computer, I have my back to people in my office. So I'm working on my computer one day, and uh, no one's in my office, and I hear this, and I'm like, I turn around, and it's Ashley sitting in one of the chairs doing this, making it make that noise. I'm like, oh my God, that's hilarious. It's the exact same thing. If I'm near you, you need to know about it. You just have to
Like, pay attention to me.
make sure that you do. Yeah, but I'm sitting there working on it.
Remember every time that I would laugh and like I would I'd be like full body laughing but no noise was coming out, your chair would just be like as I'm laughing, it would just
That's
squeak
right.
with my laughter. As if I was the one thing in Toy Story.
What's the funniest movie? Oh, yeah, Raising Arizona is hilarious to me.
I've
Nicholas Cage.
never actually seen that. I
Oh
should
my
watch
God.
it.
Coen Brothers, and they knocked it out of the ballpark, I think. It's just
The
fun.
funniest movie. Dang. Um, what's one that just gets me every time? I don't want to say something like Step Brothers, but that is one of them that is just
Oh,
like super funny.
that yeah, and the other guys.
The other guys is really funny. 21 Jump Street's hilarious.
What I mean, Wedding Crashers has some great stuff in
I
it.
was just about to say Wedding Crashers. Yeah, that one's a good
Your
one too.
mouth, you're talking to me.
Old School is really one that's funny.
Oh, who's
That was
the
one of the first movies. So I was at Mid Ohio with my brother and my dad to go on the racetracks, and I was like, I don't even remember how old that I was. I think I was in like fourth or fifth grade, and they had this little CD player where they were watching, and this TV where they were watching Old School, and that was the first time I had ever seen a movie like that at that age. At that, remember what Old School is, and me watching it at that age, that fundamentally changed my sense of humor, probably for the rest of my life. Oh, that was a good one.
Well, I'm very frustrated that I can't think of 100,000 funny things.
Well, we can always do part two next time and think of ones and write them down. And
Do you, I can't
do you
even.
want do you want to tell the giraffe joke? That makes me laugh every single time.
I just told it 3 episodes ago.
Oh, you did? We already. Oh yeah, okay, we already went. I could do the stairs.
Oh, you're just trying to cheer me up. Um, I have a college roommate who swears, and I don't remember this, that when he met me, it was early, in the I almost said season, but in the semester, like we were in the dorm, and he says I was ironing quarters and throwing them into the hallway for people to pick up and burn their hands on.
That sounds like something you would do.
It does, but I don't remember. Man, the hardest I've laughed in a long time was when uh, Melissa and I were talking about superpowers and invisibility, and the fact that she's like everybody would know where you were because you have to have everybody's attention. I'm like, oh my God, crying. I was laughing so hard. I'm like, that's exactly right. I would be like,
You'd be throwing shit at people.
what? And then I have to go to superhero counseling to the HR department, and they'd be like, hey, come on. You're the only invisible man we have. You got to cut that shit out. When you're
You
on,
got to get your shit together, Bill.
yeah, you be on the roll.
Invisible.
My God, don't ask for it. It's not my thing. I mean,
That
I was telling Chris, can you imagine me trying to get like I'm supposed to be in someone's house invisible, and so I'm trying to get in their house, but I'm still a dude, so I'm like trying to sneak in behind you when you open the door. And you're like, shut the door on my foot, and you're like, what the fuck? And you look, and there's nothing there, and I'm like trying to, sneak down the hall. No, I'm gonna be set up for failure.
Oh. What would my really great, really terrible superpower be? I could probably be invisible, and I think I'd be okay with it. No, nope. I have too much attention-seeking behavior as well. I can't. I couldn't be invisible. I'd be too pissed off.
Yeah, and all the really cool fun stuff would get old really fast.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
I'd be terrible at flying. I only have one good eye. I'd be the worst flyer. I can barely walk without hitting my elbow on something or hitting my hip on something or like bouncing from freaking wall to wall or door to door. I can't drive without hitting a curb on one side because I have no peripheral vision in this eye.
Okay, now that's one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my life, and it will always make me laugh is your parkour story.
Should I tell it?
Yep.
Okay, that is really funny. Okay, so one time I was and this was probably one of the first times that I met my ex-boyfriend's family. His brother's girlfriend's dad, stay with me here. He did VR for Kroger. So he did a thing that like mapped out the Kroger aisles and things like that to help them reorganize and things like that. So this was the first experience I've ever had with VR in my life. They had a bunch of VR games, a bunch of stuff, right? So I watched them do a bunch of VR stuff, kill zombies, do all that kind of stuff. And then I got the VR headset on, and this was in front of his family, his brother's girlfriend's family. There was a lot of people there just to set the stage.
Right.
So I was already really nervous going into this. So I put the VR headset on, and I was like, let me just choose something very mild that I'm not going to look like or make a fool out of myself. Plot twist.
So
So
you're
I
going
put on
fully out of character.
right. So I put on the VR headset and I'm like, "Ooh, let me just choose the seat," right? So I'm like looking around and I'm just like looking at all the fish and it's really cool because I feel like I'm immersed underwater and it's like a pirate ship that you're like standing on basically. And I'm looking around and it looks really cool and I'm playing with all the fish. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, there's Dory from Finding Nemo." And then I look over here and there's a giant whale coming at me. And for context, I am terrified of whales. I have a very irrational fear of whales because they are
Because you're tiny and
so
they're
big in comparison to people. Like if
Mhm.
you've ever seen that one picture of a whale with a little person, that is my nightmare. That is
Mhm.
what stirred up the fear of whales and forever implemented it in my brain, imprinted it in my brain. So I look over, I see this giant blue whale, and it's one of the big ones. It's not like a little beluga whale or like a little cute whale. It is one of the huge ones, and it is coming at me fast. I think that this is my reality now. I think I'm about to die. I think this whale's about to swallow me whole. I freak out. I go to run away, not realizing I'm literally in VR and this is not
Completely
real
forget where
life.
you are.
It just went straight fight or flight mode. I turn over. I start trying to run away and I run into the wall, basically parkour off of the fucking wall onto my back, onto the floor, and then I throw, and then like, I don't remember if they like fell off or I threw it off or whatever, but I literally bounced off the drywall basically. I'm surprised I didn't put a dent in the wall
Oh
as
my
I
God.
hit that wall. And I bounced off and when I took the VR headset off or when it fell off or what the fuck ever happened, I look around and everybody is dying laughing at me, almost peeing their pants on the ground, rolling over like I had never seen anybody laugh before in their lives. And this whole time I'm in fight or flight, basically. I'm like, this, I'm about to die. I'm about to get killed. I'm about to get murdered. I'm about to get swallowed whole. And then just to see everybody laughing at me, I was so, it was like the quickest moment of embarrassment. It was like so many emotions at once. I went from, I'm going to die to, holy shit, I'm super embarrassed. I'm going to die to, this is the funniest thing that's ever happened to me. And then we all started laughing about it and having a really good time. And it was just really, really funny. But I literally parkoured off the fucking wall.
That's what will always make me laugh because yeah, uh you said I saw the whale, I turned and just fucking ran straight into the wall so fucking hard I parkoured off of it. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. I saw someone do that. She didn't parkour off the wall, but same thing underwater, and all of a sudden, whoa! It gets it's very realistic. I was looking for a whale picture and I couldn't find one. I
Dude,
have one. I got a story for you.
okay, what's your
Uh,
story for me?
I was at a hotel called 21C. It's downtown in Cincinnati, Ohio, and
Which you love.
they have this little thing. They have a museum in there too, art museum, and they have penguins. They're like, how tall are those things? 4 feet. They're yellow and they're plastic and they're penguin.
Hmm.
I'm talking
Yeah.
about,
Hmm.
and they have it's so like 4 feet tall, and you can move them around. There's like, 15 or 20 of them at the hotel, and they put them in the restaurant. You can put them in the galleries and stuff. So my friend Ashley and I are down there, and we're on the elevator, and we have a penguin with us
I
for
remember this.
some reason. And so the elevator is moving, and Ashley drops down on her knees and like has the penguin's beak like this, and is doing this, and the elevator stops and the door opens, and I'm recording it on my phone, so the video is really short. It's her dropping to her knees, grabbing the penguin, the door bing opening, and her going whoa and trying to jump up. And not until like months later did we even stop and think that was a bird's beak. It's okay, but it was one of those. Oh my God, I got busted
Yeah.
on tape. That was a good one.
That was a funny one. I remember when you told me that the first time. That was really funny.
It's cold, man. It was warm earlier this week, which was
I'm
really.
so annoyed. Only on my birthday would it be freezing cold and frosting and about to fucking snow outside.
Is it gonna snow?
That's what it says.
I hope so. That'd be nice. We haven't had any snow this whole year.
I know. We've had a light dusting, if anything.
I like dusting.
But
That's
then it's supposed to be in the 50s again this week.
a light dusting of snow sounds like something your parents would
Sounds like
probably.
a Johnny Depp feature film that you and I have both probably watched. We've been going for 45 minutes. Can you believe that?
I cannot. So that Chappelle thing was really cool. I told Melissa we're gonna go again. Um and then when we're gonna sit, he was hanging out. It's really cool, but he was hanging out to the right of the stage against the wall. And so I said, let's just get there early and we'll go sit right there, and just hang out.
And then
But
maybe you could meet him and talk to him, be friends with
you
him.
never know who's gonna be there is the cool thing, you never even know
Because
who's.
he's like a comedy legend. I imagine when people come for like tours or whatever, they like probably go to Yellow Springs and hang out with him.
Oh shit. He's one of very few entertainers in the world who everybody will take their call.
Yeah.
Very few. Because he
I mean,
trans
he set the stage for so many comedians and so many people in the comedy world that it's actually incredible. He's such a pioneer.
Oh yeah. And the dude won the Mark Twain Prize. The best humorist in the country. Um, he's got a very, very um well-defined voice. And sometimes he uses it, in ways that rub people the wrong way.
Yeah, that aren't necessarily the best.
Yeah. But I respect that, you know. But like I said earlier, just being in that room, with all that creative energy is wonderful stuff. I told in morning meeting the day after, which was Thursday, and I called it Halloween for some reason. But how's everybody's Halloween? Um, Now I forgot what I was going to tell. Oh yeah.
Well,
So he would come up and talk, and if you whatever he was thinking, and at one point he started singing Dock of the Bay, Otis Redding.
sitting on the dock of the bay.
So I closed my eyes and I sang Dock of the Bay with Dave Chappelle and 150 other people. You never know. I liked it. It was really cool.
That is like a really cool, like almost once in a lifetime experience.
It was fun. And they
Were the tickets expensive?
not no, they're $50 a
Oh
piece.
wow, that's not bad.
Yeah. And they take your phones, and lock them up. And
Which I like.
yeah, it was
Keep
cool.
people in the moment.
Yeah, exactly. And we were talking about on the way home, that for a comedian to have a safe space is critical because you got to be able to shop your shit without,
Hmm.
the possibility of it showing up somewhere. It could
Yeah.
be that you don't like that stuff at all.
When I saw Andrew Santino at Zany's in Nashville, they did the same thing there with the phones. It was a phone free event, and they put your phone in a little lockbox that you had to get unlocked
Yeah.
when the show was over. It was really interesting, really cool.
Yep, that's what he did in the cornfield too. But I totally get it because you got to
Oh
have.
yeah, like you said, you got to workshop your stuff, and if it
Yeah,
sucks, it really sucks, and you don't want people ever seeing that ever again. And also, like if you have a joke that you say that you don't necessarily like and you'll probably never use, you don't want somebody else to take that content because they saw it online somewhere.
hell no. Mm-mm. Though they were really, really not happy about Cat Williams, though. Tell you that he did not play well.
What do you mean?
Uh, the whole Cat Williams naming names and
Oh yeah, exposing people and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I don't remember Chappelle saying anything about him, but the guy that kind of headlined before, who's a buddy of his, Dave Chappelle from the Chappelle Show, just railed on
Oh wow.
him. So, you know what? Kevin Hart is coming here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I looked at because they announced it yesterday. Tickets are like $200.
Yeah, Kevin Hart is big. I don't necessarily find him the funniest. Like
No, me
I like
neither.
his physical comedy, but I think he would be a fun person to go see. But yeah, he's hot right now. So
After that, man.
I went and saw Chrissy DiStefano and Sal from Practical Jokers.
Oh yeah.
They do a podcast called Hey Babe. It's so funny. And I saw them New Year's Eve. I think it was 2021. And it was really funny. It was hilarious. But I will say, I think out of everybody that I've seen a lot of comedians. I love going to comedy shows. It's one of my favorite things to do. Out of everybody that I've seen, this one comedian called Jeremiah Watkins, he was at Go Bananas. So it was a really like small, intimate event. He was the literal funniest comedian that I have seen live. And it was just so funny because he was jet lagged as hell. He was like an hour late because his flight got delayed. Like
Oh
he
yeah.
literally came up in freaking sweatpants right off the fucking plane and killed it. Literally like nothing I had ever seen before. And his crowd work was incredible. He is so quick with the quips, which I love. I love when people can just be super quick. That's my favorite type of humor.
Yeah.
It's like when people play off other people and can just shoot the shit really quickly.
Have you YouTubed him to see if you find him?
Find that specific one.
No, just find his stand up on YouTube.
Oh yeah, he's got a ton of stuff. He's got
Oh,
specials on YouTube. He's
oh,
got
cool.
he's a part of how he got his start was he was playing in the band of Kill Tony. I don't know if you know what Kill Tony is.
Huh.
But
I gotta get
it's
keep going.
okay. Comedians will come together. They do this in Texas because a lot of comedians move to Texas now because of the taxes or whatever. Um, but it's essentially a show where they give people 1 minute to do a stand-up spot
Uh-huh.
and to like this giant crowd of people with a panel of comedians, Tony being one of them. And it's just really fun and it's really cool and it's really quick. And then they ask that person a bunch of questions. And so Jeremiah used to play for the band. And then he started to make jokes and then he started to do a little bit of stand-up and then he started his own stand-up career. So yeah, he works with other comedians like Adam Ray and Rick Glassman and a bunch of other people. So
That's cool.
yeah.
Um,
Rick
20,
Glassman is another one that's super funny, which I think that you would really like. He's got really, really, really intelligent and funny and quirky humor.
I
He's one of
like
those people where if he's on your podcast, he will take it over completely. He's going to steamroll you all day. There's no way that you will have control over your podcast because he will take it over. And I love that.
I saw Chris Rock at Madison Square Garden in New York. And so Madison
Well, fuck all my stories. That one just tops
well,
everything I've ever done.
so Madison Square Garden is like a lot of arenas. It's a huge arena, but they also have like a hall, you know, or a
hmm
smaller. So it was in a smaller, but and this was 20 years ago. But he was like Orion, the roller coaster, compared to other roller coasters. It's not the same thing. It's the same, but it's different. You know what I mean? He was just head and shoulders above anybody I've ever seen. Just the way he
I mean, it's Chris
everything.
fucking Rock, man. I don't think that you can get any higher than that.
No, he was, I mean, by far the best on stage I've ever
Oh,
seen.
he's just so funny because I love when people also do like really physical comedy, really like animated type comedy, and that's what
Yeah.
he's so good at, and I love that.
And I loved his show. Everybody Hates Chris. Did you ever see
hmm hmm
Oh man, that's a great show. He's just fun. He's a funny dude. But anybody that can take a punch or a slap in front of a billion people, and, you know, can handle their way around the stage.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
Woo.
what?
Just that whole thing that happened.
That's nuts, man. I mean, this is oh wow. I don't know. Uh, Several people woke up the next morning and were like, "Oh no,
Yeah, I still think it was just a stunt.
oh no." I don't no can't see two dudes signing up for a slap you stunt. I don't know.
You'd be surprised.
I probably would. I
Get
saw,
people talking.
now I would see is the improv the word I'm looking for? Have we never done that, have we?
What, improv?
Do an improv show?
No, I would love to. That would be so fun. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
that would
I
be
would love to be a part of the improv show.
yeah, that would be very, very stressful but very fun.
Oh, I would love it. I used to do when I did theater back in high school. I that was my favorite thing to do when we did acting class was the improv because I was so fucking good at it because I was so much quicker than everybody else. It was
Hmm.
one of those things where like a lot of it was very competitive. So it was basically like you went until the other person couldn't go
Oh
anymore, and
yeah,
I was always the last person standing. I was
like
always the
improv
last
battle.
person standing because nobody could be as quick as me.
It was pretty
And that was
cool.
just because my programming at the time, right? Like I had to be quick, I had to be on it,
Mhm.
because like my mental health, my trauma stuff, I always had to be looking over my shoulder. I had to be hyper vigilant. So that actually played really well into the improv game. So I was
Sure
able to
did.
take this like learned trauma skill and turn it into something cool and something funny and something fun. And I was like, this is awesome. And it
That's
was really cool because we did a scene one time where we like performed it to an actual audience of my peers at the time. And I was in this one skit where it was like a dinner table skit where I was like stealing things off of the table and putting it into my purse, and I was just pretending like I wasn't doing it. So I'd like steal a fork, and then my date would be like, "Why are you doing that?" And I'd be like,
what are you talking
"Why am
about?
I doing what? What are you talking about? Like you're crazy. You're literally making this all up in your head." And we had a script that we had to follow, and the other person completely forgot their lines and just completely blanked. So I had to keep it going. And so I sat there and just asked them questions like, yeah, how many dogs do you have? Like just to like distract him, like, oh wow, look at that wallpaper. And then I would like steal like bigger things and put it in my purse. And that was so much fun. If I could go back and do it all again, I definitely probably would have fallen headfirst into theater a lot more than I did.
We do an improv class at work sometimes, and I facilitated it one week because the person that did it was out. And at one point, I was trying to engage, the class. And at one point, I can't remember what the skit was, but I got up and ran out the door to the outside. And I'm like, come on. Everybody just looked like this. And I was like, oh, that's right. Yeah, I got to remember. It's okay. You can do
Scared
that.
wolves.
Yeah. Like, are we allowed? Yeah. It's very interesting. It was very
Yeah, there
interesting.
was definitely people that I did improv with back in school that had that same reaction. I took a couple acting classes too as well in like high school, and that you could like tell who was there because they wanted to get out of their shell and who was there because they had like a natural knack for it.
Hmm.
And it was just really, really interesting to see people slowly come out of their shells. I think that was like the coolest thing about it is to like slowly watch these people bloom and like blossom into people who can be confident on stage. And it was really cool because some of the people that were like the most timid and the most shy, you give them a script and you give them like a person to play, and they just kill it. They come out of their shell completely, and they're just like, this is who I am, this is what I'm being. And then as soon as the scene ends, they're back in, like they're just back to being
Yeah.
timid again. It's just the craziest thing to see, but it's really cool. It's really cool to see people wear hats like that.
Yeah, it is. And it's sad that we don't feel really comfortable being ourselves all the time,
Yeah,
but
that's true.
how it goes. What are you doing this weekend?
Nothing.
Oh, I'm going sledding, apparently. Yay.
Oh, you are?
If it snows.
No, I'm having it's my birthday today. And so I'm just doing a bit of a self-care weekend. And then because my birthday falls so close to Valentine's Day that if I ever try to do anything like the weekend of my birthday, the day of my birthday, if it falls on the weekend, everything's always busy. Everything's always packed because everybody's doing stuff for like late Valentine's Day. And so I can't go to dinner anywhere. It's hard to go to like bars or like do really any kind of activity because everybody is just doing Valentine's Day stuff. And you know me, I like to be the center of attention. So I normally either plan my birthday the week before or the week after. So I'm gonna be doing something next weekend. I'm gonna be hanging out with Meredith, and then
Oh, cool.
I'm gonna go out with my friend Michaela. So yeah, it'll be fun. So I'm eventually celebrating myself, just not this weekend. I'm doing a self-care weekend.
Good
I'm gonna
deal.
go to Five Below tomorrow. My
Yeah, cool.
fave.
Yeah. I told Melissa I was going to get you a 4.99 gift certificate for your birthday. To Five Below. All right, then. Well, have a good weekend and happy birthday.
Thanks. You do the same. Good stuff today.
Yeah, that was fun. I'm gonna think of like a million funny things as soon as we hang up. Do we
Well,
call
we
it?
can do a part two.